Hi, this is Professor Severson, and I'm going to go over an assignment that is due on the 12th of December. It's your last big assignment, and it is in place of a final exam, so you do need to take it seriously. I will go over the instructions as well as show you a couple of examples. As always, there are many ways for you to access the drop boxes and the instructions, but just as a review, I'm going to go to Content, and then your semester weekly modules and your course content. Click on that, and it is in the final week. So the beginning of this module tells you what course outcomes we address, and it tells you what your assignments are. And it does provide the examples here as well, which I'll show you. All right, the assignment is called Photo Story, and there is a drop box for it. So you're going to choose something from the course, a specific concept that you can relate to personally, and it can be connected to a friend or family member as long as you are connected to them. The two topics you cannot choose are sleep or sleep deprivation. For this assignment, you must take a photo. This means actually take one rather than pulling one from the internet, and either insert it into a Word document, making sure you have your photo on one page and then your writing on the second page, or you may make the picture part of your PowerPoint slide and then the writing as your speaker notes. Either one is fine. You're going to identify the chapter that the concept is from. You're going to identify the specific concept. Don't just say chapter 6, learning. That is too broad. If you wanted to use something from that chapter, an example would be observational learning. So a specific concept within a chapter. You're going to write about what you learned about the concept, including scholarly content. Citations and references are needed if you paraphrase. Don't skimp here. This is the body of what you're writing. What did you learn about this? And then finally, provide a description of your photo and how it directly relates to the concept. What does it depict? What does it explain? And again, don't skimp here. So a reminder, even though these involve photos, they have to be submitted either as a Word document, not a JPEG, or a PowerPoint slide. The examples that I will go over, I'm going to go back to that module so you have an idea. They're also available under the assignment information module. Here is one example. Taking a bit to open up, so I may download it and it will open quicker. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this person identified the chapter and the section first, disorders in childhood, and then the specific concept, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, photo story. According to the psychology book, it states, so here we have a direct quote, which is acceptable, but you need to cite it properly. This is missing the author's last name. While it's a good start, you need more than just one sentence to explain what you learned about it. But then the person goes into explaining the picture. Down below on the next page, you'll see a picture of a 24-year-old man who was diagnosed with ADHD 16 years ago. The guy in the picture is my brother. And he goes on to explain that he didn't really understand what was going on with him, didn't understand about medications. And then he says in the photo below, his priority is to get his work done. However, he's distracted by doing everything but his work. And you can see it's a great illustration of somebody doing everything but his work. Okay? So that's one example. Another example which I assume will take just a minute to load. We'll see which is quicker. Okay, so here's a photo. It's a great photo. And then underneath, for 2 years, people have tried to identify and project happiness. Chapter 14 attempts to define happiness. So that's the concept. The concept is happiness in chapter 14, which is about stress and health. This person also begins by including a quote, and it is correctly cited. And then he goes on to explain a little bit more about it. He explains the picture and says, the fact that I can still turn to this picture for a sense of happiness and contentment is evidence that this moment, both in the picture and the entire period during this photo, contributes to my long-term happiness. And then it tells a little bit more about the chapter, and then here is a correctly formatted reference. And that's it. It's much simpler than it seems. If you have any questions about what you can do it on, you can email me if you want to run something by me. But otherwise, know that there are absolutely no extensions on this assignment, and the Dropbox is open now if you want to complete it early.